and in her hair for head-turning excitement, scunsies of every imaginable color. Joe's attitude is total cool in his whitewashed Levi's and striped shirt. Notice how he's layered one shirt over the other. Elvis couldn't have done it better.
Hello and welcome to another issue of the Headless Hammerhead Guide to Comics and More. Continuing with our coverage of the new Spider-Verse expansion for the Marvel Multiverse Role-playing Game, we will be discussing today the new powers introduced in this book, and we're not going to waste any time at all. Let's get right to it. The X-Men expansion introduced several new powers, including 4 power sets: Healing, Luck, Sixth Sense, and Translation. Now, the Healing, Luck, and Sixth Sense power sets, and all of the powers included within each of those sets, is listed, or are listed, in this Spider-Verse book. The only one that's not listed is the Translation set, or any of the powers within. And there are also additional powers that are introduced for several power sets that are already existing from the core rulebook and from these power sets. In this video, I will not be discussing those powers that were introduced in the X-Men expansion. You can see those power sets and the included powers in the videos that correspond to each of those power sets: Healing, Luck, Sixth Sense, and Translation. What you will find in this video are the new powers that are introduced that are specific to the Spider-Verse characters. And those powers are Razor Webs, Repulse, Stick Around, Venom Bash, Venom Burst, and Venom Sword. First power, Razor Webs, turns your webbing into weapons. It says the character's webbing can cut. It's from the Spider Powers power set. Prerequisite is web casting. It's a standard action to use. The duration is instant, range is 10 spaces, and the effect is the character makes an agility attack on an enemy. If the attack is a success, the webbing does health damage. On a fantastic success, the attack also causes bleeding. Basically just a standard ranged attack, pretty much. Nothing great or out of this world with it, but thematically I guess it's cool. Next we have Repulse. The character can force things away. The power set is Spider Powers. Prerequisites are Stick Around and Rank 3. Action type is Standard, Movement, or Reaction. Trigger is someone attacks the character. That's for if used as a reaction. Duration is instant. Range is 1 space, and the cost is 5 focus. The effect is the character can force something touching them or nearly touching them away in the same way that the Stick Around power allows them to stick things together. Character attempting to avoid being repelled must make a non-combat melee versus target number 16. And if they succeed, they can act normally. Stick Around. The character can make things stick together. Power set, Spider Powers. Prerequisite, web crawling, rank 2. Action type is Standard or Reaction. Trigger for reaction is someone attempts to move or to move another character within the power's range. Duration is Concentration. Range is 1 space per rank. Cost is 10 focus. And the effect is the character can cause 2 things to be stuck to each other in the same way that the wall crawling power allows the character to stick to surfaces. Breaking this connection requires a non-combat melee versus target number 16 action check, although the character can intentionally end it at any time. As far as what the person can do with the power, that's really up to you and your narrator. You can basically do whatever you can imagine with it. Just think of the comics and think of what Spider-Man has done as far as sticking things together, and you can get some ideas that way. Then we have Venom Bash. The character charges up their fist for a bio-electric punch. Power set is Spider Powers. Prerequisites none. Action is Standard. Duration instant. The effect, the character makes a barehanded melee attack. If the attack is a success, it does health damage. On a fantastic success, it does double damage. And if the target takes at least 1 point of health damage, they're also stunned for 1 round. I mean, it's okay. Again, standard attack. It's mostly for flavor. Next up, we have Venom Burst. The character lets loose a massive bioelectric charge. Power set is Spider Powers. Prerequisites Venom Bash and rank 3. Action is Standard. Duration instant. Cost is 10 focus. And the character pounds the ground, arcing bioelectricity all around. Make a single melee check, and compared to the melee defense scores of any foes within 5 spaces of the character. On a success, affected targets are knocked prone. On a fantastic success, they also take half health damage. I mean, it's kind of cool visually. Thematically, it's pretty neat to visualize it. But for rank 3... and it doesn't really deal damage unless you get a fantastic success. that's the range is only 5 spaces away from the user, so it's really not worth it, to be honest. Then we have Venom Sword. The character can create a sword of bioelectricity. Power set is spider powers. Prerequisite Venom Blast. Rank 2. Action is standard or reaction. The trigger for reaction is the character or an ally within reach is attacked. The duration is concentration. The cost 5 focus per round. The effect: character can create a sword from their own bioelectricity and wield it in combat. It can be used against any target within reach, and it adds +2 to the character's melee damage multiplier for attacks made with it. On a fantastic success, the attack takes double damage, and if the target suffers any actual damage, they are also stunned for 1 round. This does not stack with other such bonuses. Okay, the wording for this one's a little weird. The way it's phrased here, it looks like as a reaction or an action, you can create the Venom Sword out of bioelectricity. It's not an attack. So, a character or an ally within reach is attacked. You can create the Venom Sword and then use it during your attack, or use another reaction to use it as an attack. But the way it's phrased, you're just creating the sword, and basically you have it available to use during your turn for an attack. However, it is pretty good. It has a +2 to the melee damage multiplier for attacks made with it, and you can double damage and stun the target for a round, which is great. Actually, for a rank 2, it's a great power. Narrative powers were introduced in the X-Men expansion. They're basically powers that you can't really use in combat. They're very powerful or very intricate and really work only thematically in a greater scope. So in this book, we are introduced to Corrupting Touch, which an example would be Mr. Negative. Basically, the character touches another character and gets them under their control. The character basically turns into like a negative of themselves, and they lose their heroic tag if they have a heroic tag, and they're completely under the control of the other character. This is pretty cool. Generally, it'll be used to set up a story, to set up an adventure or a mission or a campaign. I think it's pretty cool, and it's good that they kept it as a narrative power rather than an actual power, because it would be really complicated to use in actual gameplay. And the next one is actually not a power, it's an equipment, but it acts like a power. So I'm going to discuss it here, and that is Hallows Eve masks. This is extremely powerful, especially since it doesn't use up one of your power slots. You carry a satchel that has a bunch of different masks in it that are magical, and you can put them on and take the traits and tags of the associated creature or person that the mask represents. You also get their powers without needing to meet the prerequisites. This is extremely powerful. So it does not change your size, but you take everything else from whatever it is you're cloning, basically. So they have a few examples. Black Cat would get the traits of combat reflexes, monster tags, extreme appearance, powers, real jinx, vicious attack, sharp claws. Then you have the Devil, Evil Clown, Frankenstein's monster, Ghost, and a gorilla. You also have a human fly, a model, a mummy, a police officer. You can basically take the shape of anybody or anything. A shark, even a tiger. And these are not the only ones. This is just the quote-unquote known ones. You also have Spider-Man, vampire, and a werewolf. And only one mask can be worn at a time. So you just have to decide what it is. It takes a full action to put on a mask and remove a mask. Also, you can find other masks in the satchel that are not listed here, and you can put masks on other people. You can do it whether they're willing or not. If they're not willing, you have to make an attack to remove their mask. Once they have it on, you have to do an attack to be able to remove that mask, or if they're willing to do it. And if the bearer drops the masks, whoever finds it can use them and use their abilities as well. And there you have it, another issue in the bag. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. It really helps me out. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I generally respond within an hour or so. You can also shoot me an email, headlesshammerhead@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram at headlesshammerhead altogether. You can find my art like this one here. Please message me with any questions or comments. I love to hear back from you and start a discussion. Again, thank you very much for supporting my channel and for watching my videos. I will see you on the next one.